All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Camels Vlogcast. I'm your host, Justin Rich. My guest today is Kimberly Edwards, relationship expert and author. Today, we're going to talk relationships, about her book, and a little advice for everybody out there. So, I hope you guys enjoy the show. All righty, good afternoon. Good morning. How are
Good
you?
morning. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So, tell us a little about yourself.
I like your background. I'm
Oh, thank
easily
you.
distracted. That would
Yeah,
be
we're gonna do switching. We're gonna switch back and forth.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, tell us
Um,
about yourself.
well, my name is Kay Edward, no S. Um, and I'm a writer. I've written a narrative nonfiction entitled Five Nincompoops, The Princess and One Savior, How It All Went Down. Um, and I've co authored a children's book with my son, When Oliver Speaks. And currently, I am working on a web series called Every Woman, which is going to be on I don't know, a platform near you, January 2021.
Right, that's big. That's big. So let's talk about something that's a month old too. The Jada and Will and August Alsina incident.
Man, you just weren't playing.
Yeah. Let's talk about that and celebrity relationships too, because I think a lot of people out there are like they like to talk about relationships, not their own relationships, more about celebrity relationships. So what are your thoughts on that?
You really think people care about
I
Jada
do.
August
I
and
do.
August?
Did you see the post on Facebook? Did you see like all the
I
whole?
did. That entanglement nonsense.
Yeah. So what do you think about it all together?
I think Jada was wrong. I think low key she was a predator and maybe not with intention. Um, but when she realized what she was doing, she became like the motive, not the motive, but like her classification, if you will, for lack of a better term. I feel like that switched. You know what I mean? I feel like she owes August a sincere apology. I feel like she owes Will a sincere apology, not for the affair, but for not being honest and forthright. You know, at the initial phase of questioning. Um, and I also feel like she owes her children an apology for you know for the totality of it all. Um, Period. That's what I think on that.
Great. So, why do you think there's so much like
And
disconnect? Oh,
hold on, and because I heard it was a gentleman on your show. Um, I forget, but he was talking about the relationship, and he said that it was a marketing ploy, if you will, on the part of August. And I beg to disagree. I believe that August is really finding himself, his voice, and seeking the healing that he needs to be a whole person to do what he needs to do for his family. Because if I'm not mistaken, he is responsible for some children. And I believe it is in that therapeutic process that he's been told to, face that shit. I'm sorry, did I?
yeah. Go ahead. It's a good.
Okay. He's been told to, to face that and deal with it. And that this reckoning with it is part of therapy. I don't believe he gave a damn about what it did for record sales. I think it was about healing.
Okay. So, like, he had a song afterwards. Though, do you think that part's part of the healing? I think it was called
What?
Entanglement. He had a song afterwards. It was called Entanglement.
Is that part of the healing?
Do you think it was part of the healing? You think it was marketing ploy, or you
No,
think
that's
it was a mix?
marketing. That's marketing.
Okay. Okay.
That's marketing.
Okay. Let's talk about real relationships too out here. So, social media too seems to have caused like I don't know, but before social media and during social media, a disconnect between people and communication. It seems to be like a disconnect too, with like shooting their shots, and people shooting their shots, people not like reaching out, communication. So you think there's like a problem with communication, relationships now, and social media?
Wait, are you asking me if social media plays a part in the lack of communication in relationships?
Yes, correct.
Um, no, I don't think so. How would it?
I mean, in terms of like people like men and women, so like this seems to be like a battle of the sexes. Like what women they say women don't do this and men don't do that too. So it seems like a battle of the sexes going on.
So wait, are you saying that? Are you asking if you're? I feel like there's so many parts to this. Um, I feel like you're saying that maybe social media disputes can cause rifts, I
Yeah.
guess, within
So
relationships.
like say somebody posts something in like a dating site too, and then instead of like getting insight on that post, it's like seems to go left or right, and then people just get off topic.
Wait, one more time.
Like like it's like posting like dating sites too, and then people like say somebody like why don't men shoot their shot or why don't women shoot their shot, something like that, for example, and then like it goes off course too, and then like like a blame game that goes on. That makes sense.
Yeah. And so wait, do you think that first of all, like that shit's entertainment.
Mm.
Period. Like I can't imagine responding to a post and taking that response or that energy into my own personal relationship. Like, I don't know, that's kind of yeah, no. And if
Yeah.
you're doing that, you should probably stop. And if you're now that I give that more thought, if you're doing that, right? Like you're engaging in like what is supposed to be meant for like entertainment,
Mm.
or thought provoking or just like kicking up shit. Like I know a guy whose personal motive is like to be like a pot stirrer,
Mm.
And so you can't possibly think, that taking that energy from a post into your own relationship is like healthy for you or your partner.
So for those that take it
Just getting
seriously
on
out
social,
here, what do you
yeah.
think they should do? You think they should just like stop using social media? Because I know some people that take it seriously though.
No, you got to set boundaries.
Mm.
Like you have to set boundaries. Like that shit's entertainment. Like your life is real, And I think in order for you to be as real as you need to be in your life, it starts with like knowing who you are as a person. Like I know who I am as a person. So when I look at stuff on social media, I'm able to put that in that box over there,
Yeah, it's great advice though to separate the entertainment parts from like the real life thing though.
For sure.
Yeah.
Totally screw yourself up, because that's not real. And I would also encourage, if something on social media, with regards to relationships, gave you pause, then for sure I would encourage you to have that conversation with your partner, which looks a lot different than pointing the finger.
Yeah.
Conversation.
To transition into that a little bit too, you have advice out there for people looking for a mate out there in the real world?
Stop looking.
Stop looking. What do you think they should do?
Stop looking. I think you should live your best life. I think you should love yourself first, and get to know who you are before, you decide you want to find yourself in an entanglement of sorts.
Okay.
Pun intended.
So for those in relationships too, what needs to happen and move forward to create more positive relationships and more marriages?
What?
So for people out there in relationships too, what needs to happen to create more like positive relationships and more marriages, if that's the goal for people?
What do you mean? Like, how do people keep their marriage and their relationship?
No, I mean like to create more marriages, if people are looking for that, like a transition from relationship to marriage.
Oh, there's not enough time for all of that.
Well, we have the time. You could give a little feel. You give a little feel.
I mean, you have to be honest. Period. In everything, you have to be honest. And I think in order for people to be successful in any area of their life, with or without a partner, it is incredibly necessary to be truthful. And every decision and every move and every thought should be grounded in the truth. And conversely, you should be in a position to be able to receive such truths. And a lot of times, that's where things fail. You can kind of relate it back to social media. You look at social media and, it took a lot of fucking time to get that angle right. You know what I'm saying? That, those Louboutins could have been borrowed for all but you see it and you want it. And you want that in your relationship. And, that's not truth. That's not truth.
So for those that get discouraged, maybe looking at a post, social media too, or like in their own relationship too, that they make it discouraged and not feel them moving forward. What advice do you have for them too? So, do you think they should seek therapy? You think they should work on themselves, or you think they should talk to their partner, or a mix of the three?
Disconnect with social media until your skin is thick enough where you're able to discern between real and fake. And where you're able to, make decisions that are grounded in truth, that are very much relative to your life and to that with your partner. Not everything is about a marriage, right? And not everything is about a partner. A lot of shit is about you and who you are as an individual. And you can be, the best partner you can be, if you're a shitty human.
It's very, I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. A lot of people are hurt and not healed out here, though. I think a lot of times people are looking at social media too, and they're putting their own perspective on it too, and it's triggering, instead of working on themselves. So
right, it triggers. It's like a, I don't know, some kind of Jedi mind fuck, and I gotta be that. No, bitch, you gotta be you, and you gotta sit in who you are.
So let's talk a little about the book. What is it? What's the name of the book, and what is it about?
My book?
Yes.
Oh, so look, my book. So I did. I self-published a narrative nonfiction called Five Nincompoops, The Princess and One Savior, How It All Went Down. Look, I just happened to have it.
Hold on. Wait, gotta get close up. There we go.
Okay. And so literally it is Bare Naked Kim, right? And I I share experiences with partners that I've had that have damaged me in some way, but also healed in other areas. And I've learned great lessons from them. I still don't necessarily like them, but
Are you talking about the people, or are you talking about
the people?
Okay.
The people, the nincompoops, because you can't really say five assholes on a book. You know what I'm saying? You can't say that.
So when you first started writing the book, it was for itself for healing, or to help other people out too? Or was a mix of the two?
No, I just wanted to write a book. And I knew I had a story, and I had multiple stories, and I still have stories, and I just wanted to write a book. And it was only after the book was published that I realized that, there was such a healing, such a release. And I believe that's when I fell in love with me again. And then, man, you really couldn't tell me shit. And
So
so
did you feel like you were giving your all to people out there, but they weren't returning the favor, or did you feel like you weren't like yourself? Like you talked about earlier in the interview, like you weren't people like to be themselves. Do you feel like you weren't being your true self?
yeah, for sure, for sure. I feel like women have the ability, and sometimes it's like subconsciously to shape themselves into their partners. You know,
Mm,
we kind of take on their characteristics and become those people, and in doing so, you abandon your natural self. Perfect example, Sierra. Like, who the fuck is she now, right? Right?
mm.
Who was she when she was with Future?
Ooh, I don't even know. I can't answer that because she was Future's girlfriend.
Exactly, exactly. But there's a and respect to Sierra, you know. But I just mean, you know, as an example, like with there are a couple of photos, you know, of her and Future, you know, as a couple, and like there are photos with her and the football dude as a couple, and the two look very different.
Yeah, but like the way I see it, like I get what you're saying too. Is like, with Future, she looks like this a girlfriend, but like she looks like her own person too. Like for when she was single, she was like the singer, like dancer, all that.
Right,
Some
but with
talent.
Future, she looks like that ride or die.
What do you think she looks like with Russell Wilson though? To me,
She's
she looks like
somebody's wife.
and mom too.
Exactly, she's
Mm.
someone's wife and mother. You
And
know,
do you think like
and the air is different. You know
and
what
do
I'm
you, do
saying?
you think it's hard to like so somebody like respect somebody that it's that this is like somebody's girlfriend versus like somebody's mom, or like do you think they should? I mean, I believe they should get the same amount of respect too. But I know people out there are going to be like, oh, she's just somebody's girlfriend versus like she's a mom and a wife. What do you
No,
think?
but I'm not speaking. But what I'm saying has absolutely nothing to do with her role in the relationship. Has nothing to do with Russell. That's his name. With Russell, that
Mm,
he's his wife, or and with Future, that she's his girlfriend. Like, I'm not saying that has
mm,
nothing to do with it. I'm saying as women, we take on the characteristics of the people that we, you know, are involved in and with, period. And so, you know, I can look in my own I'll use me as an example. There are times that I in the book, in the book, I am with Blake, and Blake had money, and so my lifestyle reflected that. There was a price to pay for that, but like my lifestyle reflected that. Um, Another time I was dating, I forget his name in the
call him Tommy.
Tommy, right? And so Tommy played piano in church, right? Well, I certainly didn't look like the person that, you know, I was when I was with Blake, when I was with Tommy. And although time had passed, like the two were different in relationships. It's just different. It's different, and women do it. And any woman that tells you that they haven't is probably lying.
Mm. So would you say is 100% women like there's like 100% true for all women, or is this a certain like amount? Would you say a percentage, or would you say it's all women in general in the beginning? In the beginning, not like throughout the relationship, but the beginning too.
I mean, you like there's a very high percentage.
Mm,
How many think of you.
mm,
Uh how many times have you done something in a relationship, right? That you didn't particularly care for,
mm.
right? But you did it because, you know, you were in this relationship with this woman, and you probably have never done it again.
I'd say probably more than half the first time.
Boom. There you go.
I
That's you
think
adapting.
like
That's you
I would think
adapting to your
yeah, I
surroundings.
would say that too is like trying to be like compatible with that person, trying to be like not. I don't say it's like it's a bad thing too, because it's not a bad thing too, unless you're like lose your whole identity, you know.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
think
So right, exactly. You totally just proved the point. or not prove the point so
Yeah.
much, supported it. And that we do as people.
It's human nature, you know.
It's human nature. We do as people. And so I go to say, you can't be 100%, someone else in a relationship. You can't and expect it to work. It's like putting on a costume every day. And until you're able to walk in, void of social media, void of, other outside influences that kind of dictate who you are, I don't believe that any relationship would necessarily stand the test of time. Both parties have to go in as solid individuals, grounded in who they are, and be able to articulate what it is that they need.
Yeah, I think a lot of people too is like they, even if they go at themselves too, they try to be the other person too, or they try to be like too much of the other person without like being their true selves. So
Right.
but that's always good too. So for yourself too, how did you heal, and how do you advise the people out there looking for like outlets?
Me, I love God.
Mm.
And like that's it. That's all. That's what my little niece, my little breezy says. That's it, that's all. And that's it. I do. I love him, and I just want to be the best me I can in him. And so when I guess in saying that, because respectfully, not everyone, worships the same, but find, something higher than you, and seek to become wise in whatever that is, that's going to help you to be the best person that you can be. I know initially when I was going through, when I was really young, I just seemed to have just trouble, and trouble keeping up, and trouble like falling back when necessary, just trouble. And I found, look, it's right here by my bed, Elania's Acts of Faith. I don't know. And still, there are like pages that like are bookmarked that, I read, and it
So,
grounds
you
me.
you find yourself going back to that book periodically?
Yeah. This, every now and again, right now I've committed to reading the Proverbs, because I want to be wiser. Like I want God's wisdom. And so they said God's wisdom was in the Proverbs because he gave it to Solomon. And so that's my quest right now. But that's just that's just me.
Right. So personally, how do you measure compatibility from your perspective? Because you can only talk from yourself too. Because you can help people out there too. Maybe they can relate to what you have to say, but talk from your perspective. How you measure compatibility?
I thought I had the science down. But I don't know that there is a way. I thought that if I could be my best self, right? If I could be my most authentic self, and it was reciprocated, that we would be compatible.
Interesting.
Yeah. And
that's tough. That's tough though.
And not that there weren't any other like factors, like we had to be equally yoked, right? Like like you just can't know God, like he needs to know you, kind of thing, and all of those other things. But I went into my last relationship consciously believing that if I presented my most authentic self,
you'd be good, right?
this was a done deal. I even had fucking hashtags picked out. I never told anyone that. Just now. I've never shared that with anyone. But I legit had marriage hashtags because I knew this was it.
So that was like, would you say is the beginning? Was it beginning, or was it like a couple months after? How long would you say after you felt like it was like, boom, this is the one?
I kind of thought within like a month in or so. You know, I felt like, you know.
Would you say it was like intuition from like, because you were saying like earlier on how women like adapt to like that partner? Would you say it had something to do with that too? Was it more like you just felt like that compatibility was like right there, and you your authentic self, and you were just like, all right, this is the one. I'm good.
No, I thought it was. I thought because I was honest. I thought because I was authentic. I thought because, and by authentic, not just honest, like you see me brush my teeth, right? Like, you know that I burp, right? Like authentic, right? Like authentic. And even in spirit, in thought, you know, just authentic in every facet of person, of being. And I thought within a month, because I had watched and observed, that for sure I was going to marry him. For sure I knew I wanted to marry him.
Wow. Would you say it was a little bit of fairy tale in your thinking? Were you honest with yourself? Were you like completely honest with yourself?
Yeah. To a degree, no, you're as honest in the moment. In the moment, I believe that you're as honest as you can be with yourself. Because too, you know, you have to remember that that we allow certain things. Like you permit certain things to happen. You know, that you can only point the finger at later because you're too blinded to realize in the moment that shouldn't be.
Would you call those red flags? As they see, if they say many times, red flags. Would you call
For
that?
sure,
What would you call
that would be like a red flag, or something like you just I might need to note that. And so, yeah, I guess pay attention to the notes, or to the number of times that you feel like you want to note something.
So it's like a kind of like intuition, like a sixth sense kind of thing. Like let's say like this doesn't feel right to you. It's like you feel it over and over again, like at the beginning. And but you keep what's the word I'm trying to think of? Like you keep not diving into that too, or like you ignore it basically.
Right, but I feel like like a woman's intuition is like golden. It's like never wrong. And sometimes we like choose to ignore it because we feel like, you know, there are extenuating circumstances, which just, you know, translate into excuses. You know, and so I don't know. I really don't know that there, to get back to your question, I really don't know that there is a formula for compatibility. You know, I do believe that there's a chemistry that happens. I do believe that one should be able to be themselves and not have to justify oneself.
Are you a believer in friendships before dating? Are you a believer in timing? Are you just a believer in like if you feel it, just go for it? How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I feel like every relationship might require, you know, a different optic, you know.
Interesting. So in terms of Let's see. What else would you like to talk about? Because we pretty much ran through it all.
So,
We went deep.
okay, we did. And so, were you expecting to go this deep? Or did you think I was
I
just
mean, I thought you were about to go like. I know you're gonna go deep, but I didn't think you're about to go like the bottom of the ocean.
when
But I'm glad.
did you
I'm glad
know?
you did.
Wait, when did you know? Because I don't believe you. When did you know? When did you know you were like, this is
That
gonna be like
15-minute mark, I think, when it changed the conversation too, when the conversation changed a little bit. I forgot what we were talking about too. I think it was about the book, before the book conversation. I think that's when it really went deep.
okay. Well, you could have wrapped me up at any time.
No. This is good. This is good. So I want people to see this and like hopefully get something from this and like learn
For
something.
sure. Okay, so what we want to talk about? Let's end with my new project.
All right, let's go. You
Even
get
though
the solo cam.
Okay, so no, I want to see your face.
All right.
That's what I tell my students. I want to see your face. Okay, so I have created, written, and I'm executive producing a show that is very near and dear to my heart. Drum roll.
Bang.
It's called Every Woman. And it is a new web series coming in January 2021, specifically for every woman. It's a beautifully diverse cast. And we set out to dispel stereotypes, break boundaries, and build bridges between ethnicities, culture, tradition, and religion.
So when you first started working on this project, what were your first like thoughts? What made you like that? What was that point you had this? You wanted to create this wonderful upcoming show?
So I had been ghosted by the man with whom I thought I was going to marry. And out of some deep sobbing, and kind of questioning and almost an interrogation of self, I just felt like my experiences, again, weren't just my own, and that every woman probably felt like I had felt and maybe never shared. And I felt like, well, you already told all your business with the book.
Might as well make it a series, right?
I hate you. But
no, you love me. You know you love me.
I do, but I thought, hell. Why not make
keep it real? I told you this is a countless vlogcast. We keep it real. Everything is countless.
Do.
So
I like that you keep it real, and I like that I can say whatever I want to say.
Yeah.
And so
I respect that. I respect like you're like being honest though, because a lot of people aren't honest with themselves too, and like they put blame on themselves too in this too. It's like you need that healing. You like crying. It's like it seems like a stigma too, even if it's like people showing emotions too. It's just like it's good you cried and all you went through healing too. But I'm so glad you did that though. But continue. Sorry.
No, but on the crying part, real quick, I can't. Where? Oh, here she is.
What do you got? Black tissues?
No.
Hold on. Let me see. Let me get the real quick. All right.
Nikki Giovanni is a good cry.
Oops.
So it's her work of poetry and stories that she shares, and it's just it will make you cry, just from different perspectives. But I showed you that to say that a good cry is definitely necessary. A good cry shifts some things within your spirit and gives you different perspectives. A good cry is a cleansing. And so in that good cry came every woman. And so the cast is, there's Jay, who is a transgender woman of color. There's Charlie, who is a queer woman of color. There's Elizabeth, who is Charlie's cousin, and she is a straight white woman. There's Prisha, who is their Indian friend, and Monica, who is Jay's roommate, and Monica is a straight Black woman. And then there's Kelly, Monica's best friend.
So creating those characters, that was on purpose or was that subconscious?
No, that was intentional. Justin, I would think you know by now
Of
that
course.
nothing to me is
I had to ask though. But you know, it's like
no, it was very much intentional because no one's my friends aren't all Black. And I know people whose friends aren't all white. And so you have every woman.
That's good. The verse, everybody's included. I love it.
Everyone's included.
I love it.
There is a GoFundMe right now. So if any of you all are watching, please find Every Woman on the GoFundMe and support, please. And I can guarantee that if you support Every Woman, I felt like one of them profiteers.
So is there like a website for the show and the social media for the show? People
No, not yet. This is the first time I've actually even talked about the show publicly.
Oh wow, okay, that's big. I feel like very like special right now. Like
This is the first time I've
exclusive.
Wait, you need the breaking news join thing.
I don't have that budget for that. All that.
Okay. It's okay, cause when I get big, then you're gonna get big too. You know what I'm saying?
Where I feel you. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, this is the first time I've actually even talked about it.
Yes, awesome. So,
I'm excited for it.
Thank you for coming on, sharing about
Thank
your
you.
book,
Thank
your
you for
show,
having me.
everything. Keeping it real, like remember Dave Chappelle, keeping it real when it goes right. Keeping it real goes right. Oh wait, I may get sued for that though. Whoops, whatever. I don't care.
No, you're not. Because it was less than like 30 seconds.
I didn't do the skit, so there we go.
Right. Exactly. No, I love Dave Chappelle. But no, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate your time this morning too, and the platform.
Thank you very much. And everybody, if you want to watch this again, YouTube, Candace Vlogcast, it's going to be live. Not live, it's going to be posted on there. So make sure you guys watch it. Make sure you guys support Kimberly and Edward. And make sure you go watch the show and get the book. Thank you guys for watching.